In your lawsuit, the relief you are seeking is going to depend on the type of case. Most cases are going to result in an award of damages. The winning party will win an award of damages which says the other party owes this party this amount of money. It is monetary harm suffered or a loss incurred. There are variations on the types of damages. There is direct damages, there is incidental damages. Essentially, though, it all comes back to the harm you have suffered. Some contracts have what is called a liquidated damages clause in it. This is a dollar amount that's agreed upon in advance as what will be awarded if one of the parties breaches the contract. Courts generally dislike liquidated damages clauses in a contract because all too often they serve as a penalty for breaching the contract instead of really compensating someone for the harm they've suffered. Some cases will result in only a small amount of damages awarded, and these are called nominal damages. This is a small amount of money awarded by the court where the court is saying the plaintiff is entitled to win, but they haven't established any significant damages. The punitive damages that we hear so much about are damages that are awarded in a very small number of cases. They are awarded as punishment for a party's wrongful acts beyond any actual losses suffered. Punitive damages are more of righting society's interest in the case than the individual parties. Punitive damages are rarely awarded in contract cases. They are to send a message to the community: if you commit this kind of wrongdoing, you can be punished financially. An example of a case where you might see an award of punitive damages would be a fraud case. It's intentional wrongdoing, and the court, within strict guidelines, due process guidelines, can award a punitive damages award on top of the actual harm suffered to send a message to the community: this behavior is not appropriate. Under the laws of many states, including Florida, and under the United States Constitution, punitive damages can be awarded only in certain types of lawsuits and within certain limits. In Florida, you must first convince the judge that there is a reasonable basis for punitive damages before you can ask for them in a claim. Specific performance is an example of a remedy you can get where money won't suffice. The classic specific performance award is where someone signs a contract to buy a piece of real estate. Every piece of real estate is unique, and the court can order that the defendant must convey the property to the buyer, even though the seller doesn't want to go to closing. An injunction is a court order that stops certain behavior, or in the case of mandatory injunctive relief, it orders them to do a specific act. An example of an injunction situation would be a non-compete case where someone is trying to steal your business, they've signed a non-compete agreement, and you need to stop them from trying to steal your customers. You can get a fast temporary injunction. In certain limited circumstances, you have to convince the court that you're probably going to win the case, and you're going to have to post a bond to compensate the enjoined party if you lose the case. Declaratory relief is a type of relief that declares the rights of parties when they are uncertain of those rights.